Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this Move, Sweat, and Suffer podcast with your co-founders, Lee Hazard from Strong and Conditioned, and myself, Joe Hotai. We have the incredible privilege and opportunity to have Mr. Jag Fit himself, Mr. Julian Galves. Thank you very much for joining us, brother. Great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm just stoked to be on here, and it's been. We said we'd do it like a little, and then now we're finally doing it, and I'm just absolutely stoked to be here with both you guys. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming on, mate. You're a bit of a machine looking at some of the stuff on your IG and things like that and things that you do. And so I guess maybe if you wouldn't mind, how about you give us maybe a 3 to 5 minute background intro of yourself, what you do. I realize you're a school teacher and all that sort of stuff, but just well, it might not take that long, but if you can just tell us a bit about what you do right now and maybe why or what the core diet is of your training and that sort of thing. And then we'll go into some questions and stuff from there and try and draw some more out of you.
Okay, sounds good. Great. Cool. So again, my name is Julian Galves. I am going to be 27 years old. So in the email, I said I was 27, but I'm still 26 right now. But in like 3 months, I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm just gonna say 27. So
you trying to get into the club early, saying that you're a certain age, but you're still only young. Right?
Keep it young, mate. Keep it young.
Just 26, 27, like just teeter totter. But yeah. 26, 27. I just started teaching. I'm a school teacher. I'm the 6th grade at an elementary school level. I teach all subjects, science, history. But funny story about that, actually. I was actually supposed to teach history, right? History, social studies. So I'm actually like my credential and my degree and everything is to teach history, right? It was. I got a call from someone on the inside who said, "Hey, how do you feel about teaching 6th grade?" All right, let's do it. I have no training in teaching English, math, or science, but let's just do it. Right. So, the kids are great, so I've been doing that. Let's see, they're teacher and then a fitness coach. So I just started doing that. So it's just pretty much training people in calisthenics, the stuff that I know, so push-ups, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And also, so I was a fighter in the ring, not pro, but just amateur, a few fights here and there and stuff. And I'm trying to teach them stuff that I know and everything. And usually people don't actually want to fight, but they want to feel like a fighter. You know what I mean? Want to feel like a fighter, want to look like a fighter. So that's pretty much what I try to do with that.
Yeah.
Let's see, the other part of the question you said, like what I'm doing now for fitness, or would you repeat that, please?
Yeah. So I think you've answered it, like your core part of your training regime, and I think you've sort of answered that with your calisthenics stuff and your martial arts stuff, right? Would that be
right.
accurate? And that's the core part of your sort of training?
Right. So for the most part, since COVID, I should say, since the lockdown 2 years ago, I found Iron Wolf, I found Moses Cuevas, I found the Burpees King. I just stumbled upon it on YouTube, just somehow. And I saw them doing these types of workouts. I saw the striking of the stomach. I saw the Navy SEAL burpees. I saw all this stuff, and I was like, man, this looks like a tremendous way of training. And at the time, I was still fighting. I was still in Muay Thai, and I was doing calisthenics more so just to help me condition to be a fighter,
Yeah.
But then when all the gyms shut down and everything, I was like, okay, I got to find a way to train. So I went on YouTube and I found them, and it was just like, hey man, this looks great. And then it came to a point where I was like, you know what? I still want to keep training. I still want to keep training martial arts and everything. But I think the fighting aspect, that's not really something I wanted to do anymore, because before that I had lost a fight, and for me at that point, I was kind of like, okay, I can either continue with this or continue doing, finish my degree, finish all that stuff, or, try to be a professional fighter. Yeah. And the thing is, I decided, you know what, fighting is great and everything, but it's not really, I love training, but not fighting. And again, this will go into the whole, later we talk about my reasons for fighting and everything like that. But I just decided, hey, I want to be teaching, but I still want to train. I still want to do all that stuff. So it's just me against me. I'm not hurting anyone. No one's hurting me, you know, or like I'm hurting myself by doing all the burpees and everything. But yeah, no. And then I started doing martial arts again. I started doing kickboxing, but right now the main form of martial arts is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I just started doing that, you know. So this was like, I think maybe 2-3 months ago, I started doing Jiu-Jitsu, and it's like, it's fantastic. It's all body weight, you know.
Who's the club? Do you want to shout out the club where you're training, where you've started your BJJ journey?
Yes. 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. The 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu.
Is that Eddie Bravo's?
Eddie Bravo's system.
Yeah. Shout out to 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. My coaches are you know,
nice.
Black belts, brown belts. They're really nice. They're really great. And one of them is actually helping me doing the personal training stuff. He's like helping me with like a business model, and he's just
that's fantastic.
So nice and everything. And yeah, they're just great guys. Guys and gals too. You know, the gals are pretty there. I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right, you got me. But yeah.
I'm glad that you fitted that in there, Julian.
What's that?
I says I'm glad you fitted that in there with the gals.
Yeah.
But
he's dropped out. His internet connection, to be fair, I only noticed it's not very well. I don't know if it's a connection, but he's not at 720. His is at 420, sort of hovering around 360, 420.
Dear me, man, that goes with your earphones.
Hey, these are iPhone earphones, and they're smaller.
The first ever iPhone. Is that the one that Steve Jobs, when he was alive, actually advertised?
Hang on, here he is. He's come back. Yeah, is it 4?
We lost connection, I think.
Yeah, we did. Hey, just while we've got you here, before I forget, what that may mean at the end of this is that I might have to send you a separate link so that you can just hit it so that it will upload fully everything that you've just talked about in that first piece. And then the same on here. Not sure, because I was just saying with Lee, your internet or the connection seems to only be at 480, which can have a habit of dropping out at times if we have things like that. But we'll see how we go. We'll keep going through it. If this one drops out, we just do the same again. Lee and I will hold up and wait. Okay. You jump back in, and if I might need to send you 2 or 3 separate links, and then you just hit those. Then that way I'll be able to have everything and mash it together.
Okay.
It'll be sending you more links than a bicycle chain at this point.
Oh man.
Sorry, but no. Carry on.
I was like, obviously referencing the gals comment. However, like I've got a question straight away regarding your fighting program. Just out of interest, how do you find the burpees affects the fighting side of things physically? Is it a big help? Does it get your conditioning up?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. For certain. And it's really perfect too, is like the stomach strike as well, because the thing is with Muay Thai, at least, we would always do a lot of stomach strikes, with like the pads, or we'd hit each other, so the stomach strike definitely helps. And as far as like conditioning goes and everything like that, the burpees are perfect. The calisthenics are perfect because, when you're fighting, there's different paces, you know what I mean? Where you could be like doing a bunch of jab, crosses, kicks, going for power, and then you kind of kick back and like you're doing a jab or like front push kick, and you're kind of like relaxing, but then you go again and then boom, boom, but you're all like, you're continuously going, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These, you could be doing like, a set of 25 really fast, and then the next 20 or 20, and then you can vary it, and like, as we all know here, the burpees are tremendous full body workout. And that's exactly what, like, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, karate, like whatever you do, it really is a full body weight workout. And the burpees, it just perfectly meshes together. So
yeah, it was one thing I noticed that like a couple of months ago, I did a 500 burpee workout with Julian on Instagram. And it's funny you talk about the stomach strikes, because that was one thing that stood out immediately that I noticed that you were doing. I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, listening to this guy strike his stomach. He's beating himself up.
Oh yeah.
I could hear him all across my room. I mean, he's wearing a kilt, which was bad enough.
Oh yeah.
But
That's right.
he's trying to disembowel himself at the same time. It's like
Oh
he's
my
trying.
God.
It's like he's trying to make human haggis or some shit like that.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah, no, Lee was the one who, like you said, like, hey, you should wear your kilt or something. And I was like, hell yeah. I'm doing a workout with a guy from Scotland, and it's just, all right, man, let's do this. And I was very careful about the camera angle, because the kilt,
Very
of course,
considerate.
yeah. So I was like, I don't want to do anything improper, but I still want to wear my kilt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but yeah, the stomach strike. Actually, the person who told me about the stomach strike too, so when I first started doing the burpees and everything, I got in contact with Moses Cuevas, and I'm from Sacramento, California. He's from Southern California, and like I said, hey man, I'd like to get together and do a collab, and then we did. We actually did a collab. We met on Venice Beach. It's on YouTube, his YouTube channel. And he just told me
put
the
it on your channel.
why. Yeah. It's like it's like the unedited version, but it's like way back, but yeah. The video he uploaded, it's called California Love,
Right.
So it was. So anyway, he was telling me about why he did the stomach strike, and he was saying that I don't want to speak for him and his experience too much, but he was saying. I'll just say when he was on the inside. When he was on the inside, he told me that he wanted to prepare himself, just in case he got hit in certain ways.
Yeah.
He would literally bruise himself. He said, because he really wanted to prepare for actual battle and everything.
Yeah.
So I was like I'm probably not gonna hit myself that hard, but still at the same time I want to still be able to get in the habit of doing that, because it's the psychological thing where it's like, hey, it's time to go down. I'm gonna get my stomach condition, but as soon as I hit my stomach, boom, we're going down. Doesn't matter how tired I am or anything,
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
Yeah,
Awesome, man.
We had Moses on the podcast, and we spoke about that very thing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
About the intensity of Moses' stomach strikes and how his burpees were they were like telling a story. There was a pain that came from Moses' burpees. They're quite emotional without sounding airy-fairy.
Right.
They're emotional burpees, man. Get what I mean?
Oh yeah.
There's a story to Moses' burpees, but he's a great guy. He's a fascinating character.
Yeah.
Oh no, he really is. Funny story about that too. My dad was the one who drove us down. Because my grandpa before he passed away, he lived in San Diego. So we wanted to stop by Venice first do the video and then see my grandpa. And the thing is, when Moses came, my dad actually called out to him. He said Cuevas, and then Moses gave him this look like that. Who are you? And then my dad said, no, wait, no, I'm Julian's dad. And he was like, oh, hey, what's up, Dad? So Moses thought that my dad was calling him out or something, or thought maybe he was and it's like, no.
You're ready to roll.
Yeah. Usually calling someone by their surname there's an aggressive element to that.
Yeah. That was great though. Oh my God. But yeah.
How long did your session go for? I'm going to jump over and have a look at that later. But how do you remember how long did that session go for? Was it an hour? Was it?
It was let's see, I think it was like over an hour, possibly.
Yeah,
because we were in different parts of the beach. We were we did a bunch of burpees on the sand,
Right.
right by where all the flags are. You could see the beach and the water. Excuse me, the beach and the water and everything. And then we went over to Muscle Beach, where they have the pull-up bars and the dip bars. You see all the big jacked bodybuilders. You see the guys doing the bar stars, kind of like Broly gains or Goku pump, kind of muscle ups and everything. So so we went there, and he was showing me a bunch of stuff with pull-ups, dips, and his pull-up game is tremendous. I mean, he's a beast at pull-ups. So he was showing me different techniques. He was doing a lot of other things, but so it probably was over an hour, I'd say. So
that's awesome, man. You've brought up a heck of a lot of stuff where I have some questions, and maybe I'll jump in quickly. Get it? No, actually, I'll leave those. I'll jump into some other questions with you first, if that's all right, Julian. And I'd be really interested to hear, because it was great that you sent through a bit of information, and can you talk a little bit about, or you've spoken, sorry, a bit about your journey into this calisthenics and finding Iron Wolf, Moses Cuevas, and Burpees King, and how that's influenced and really helped with your training. You've talked about your desire to, I guess, not continue to hurt people or beat people up too much, but continue with that training and hurting yourself and focusing on the teaching, which has been cool. And I'm really interested because you mentioned something in your notes to us about, and I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind speaking about it, the bullying aspect and your journey into this fitness stuff. And was that part of the catalyst for you with the martial arts and all that sort of thing? But would you mind speaking a bit about that in terms of some of that you experienced from the bullying aspect and how you've been able to transform?
Yeah. So it like kind of started off when I was a little kid. You know, so I went to like speech therapy and everything because when I was a little kid, I stuttered a lot. You know what I mean? Right. And like from time to time, I still have it. You know what I mean? And like if you really know me well, you'll kind of hear it here and there. But yeah, it affected me all throughout grade school and even college too. You know, when I was like 21, I remember I was like doing this presentation. I could not speak, and I was so embarrassed and everything like that. And but before that, when I was 15 years old, I was heavily bullied. You know, like not physically, but just emotionally, like mentally. They saw at the time that like I was vulnerable up here. You know, and it was just like, were
you bullied because of the stuttering? Is that what was happening at that time?
Yeah, I'm not quite as much, and you'd think I would be, but I think because of that, like, you know, I was vulnerable, or like I became vulnerable. I didn't have a lot of self-confidence because of the stuttering. I didn't want to talk, so then I wouldn't like defend myself. I wouldn't say anything back, and then they took advantage of that. But like, you know, so what happened was at 15, you know, there was a lot of that, a lot of like, you know, being like thinking I wasn't good enough, thinking a lot of negative things, and at the time I was doing a lot of weights. I was doing rugby and stuff, and doing weights back then when I was 15, 16, 17, you know, that was really my start, I'd say, like, you know, like battling the stuttering problem, the bullying, anxiety as well, like the anxiety issues. And it was just me trying to just escape, you know what I mean? It was more of an escapist kind of thing. Right. And then when I went to college, I played rugby still did weights, gained a lot of weight. I was like 230 pounds when I was 18. And wow. I had tremendous, you know, for like a young man, 18, like dangerously high from being overweight. And then when I was 20, I quit rugby, you know, because there was kind of the same bullying kind of stuff. So I was like, all right, it's like a toxic environment. But like the coaches were great, and some of the guys. So I'm not trying to say like everyone there, but it was just certain situations, you know. But and then when I was 20 years old, I quit rugby, and I was like, hey, I need to find something that is going to be an outlet for me, but is more like me against me, and it's still kind of a team sport. And so I found this Muay Thai gym at my university. You know, it was like about 10, 15 minutes away. And then I was going to go there not for the purpose of wanting to learn Muay Thai, but wanting to fight. You know, like I wanted to be a fighter more than anything. I was training super hard, but I was doing it mainly for the wrong reasons. Because there were a lot of internal issues I had, you know, about bullying and self-confidence. Yeah. You know, and so I was like, you know, I'm gonna do this, and then I started doing it. You know, had the fights, but in the back of my mind, I was like, I really don't want to be fighting. I love training, but I kind of felt like, look, I don't know this guy, you know, that I'm fighting. Why do I want to hurt this guy for what, you know? And that's not to say that people who do fighting, that it's like, hey, you do what you want to do. It's tremendous. Like, you know, I've like Khabib Nurmagomedov is my favorite MMA fighter, you know, so I'm not like I'm not discouraging anyone from fighting, and people start for their own reasons. This is my opinion. It's just my journey and everything. So, and then I began fighting, began doing that. And then I thought, okay, because I'm fighting, things must get better. and then they didn't. I still had the same issues. I was still going through the same anxiety and was still stuttering, still, like just had this kind of warped self-confidence of myself. And then once I like finally took a step back during COVID and like kind of was like, okay, why am I doing this? Do I and found calisthenics. I was like, hey, I'm starting this for the right reasons. I'm starting calisthenics for the right reasons. But if I'm being honest, when I started my YouTube channel, it was more to distract everyone from the fight that I had just lost. So the fight that I had lost, it was in front of my whole family, got my ass kicked, excuse my language, got my ass kicked. And I was embarrassed. I was like, man, I hyped myself up, hyped everybody up for the fight. I lost and everything. And then it was just kind of like, okay, what's something I can do to mask what just happened? Okay, create a YouTube channel, do all that. And then I started doing the YouTube, and I was like, wait, fun, and I don't have to mask anything. I'm just doing the YouTube channel, doing my Instagram, doing my workouts, but I'm doing the calisthenics for the right reasons. You know what I mean? And I'm not doing it to try to prove anything to anyone at all. It's just myself. And and that's part of the reason why getting into jiu-jitsu thing. It was like, hey, I'm doing this for myself. I'm posting videos not for other people, but for me, because I want to spread what I know and try to be an example, not just to like people online or people I meet, but my students. You know what I mean? And when it comes to my students right now, I'm doing that, or it's no longer about me, it's about them. But example, by telling them, hey, I work out, I do this, get up at a certain time, cold showers every day, everything. And it's like, I want to be an example to other people. And it's the same thing with the personal training. It's no longer about me, it's about them. It's about their journey. You know what I mean? So basically that's the whole journey thus far, with fitness, calisthenics, martial arts and everything. And I feel like I'm in a much better place compared to when I was doing Muay Thai, fighting and trying to kind of put up this image of myself. You know what I mean? That maybe wasn't completely true, so.
Awesome, mate. Fire out. Julian, thank you very much, bro, for sharing that and that level of detail. I wasn't expecting that, but I love how you've been so transparent and open and honest about those things, particularly, with whatever happened in the fight and then your reasons for the channel. Man, it just gives a really good insight, I think, not only for me, but I think for some of our listeners. You look like you want to jump in, Lee. Go ahead, mate.
No, I was just thinking, with regards to how you started a YouTube channel, what was the initial premise of the YouTube channel? Was it just straight up workouts, or was it just promoting yourself and your experiences?
It was pretty much just taking direct inspiration from the Iron Wolf and Burpees King,
Cool.
And some of what, or some about, or Moses Cuevas as well. But it was mainly just hey, I'm bored, and at the time I lost my job and I was trying to get back into school, and then I started working in a warehouse before I got back into school. And I was like, I have all this extra time, and I was just like, okay, this seems cool. This seems great. I can just post my workouts, and it's kind of like my journey from just beginning to 1,200 burpees or shorts or something like that, shorts is in YouTube shorts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then too, as well, like I was saying before, starting the YouTube channel, kind of promoting that as well, was kind of to take the attention away from that fight, you know what I mean? It took a little bit for me to realize that was one of the reasons, but now I'm at the point, like I was saying, where it's it's no longer about the fight. It's just posting, because I want to show the world where I'm at, what I'm doing, and again, provide an inspiration, for other people, But right now, mainly it's through Instagram and a little bit of TikTok is mainly where I post it. Instagram being the number one, TikTok, and then then YouTube, then Facebook. So
because you don't really post on YouTube that much anymore, do you?
No, not really. It's mostly through Instagram, I'd say.
Yeah.
And why is that? If you don't mind me asking, Julian, why more? Is it just more convenient? Is that the?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Instagram and TikTok are a little more convenient at, like the stories, like, I can do that. And it's like, it doesn't take like, doing the tags and all this other stuff, to post on Instagram. And,
Cool.
but not to say that I'm not going to do it anymore, but I like, my time, my schedule, like, getting up at 4:30, doing my workout, driving 1 hour to go to my school site, teaching all day, grading papers, another workout, 2.5 hours of martial arts on some of the weekdays, and and then trying to do the personal training or like clients. It's just there's only so much time I have throughout the day now, and it's just kind of like Instagram and TikTok are a little more convenient for me.
That makes sense because like I think you're the youngest guy we've actually had on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, be him and Burpees Ikram, eh?
Yeah,
Probably,
I think Burpees Ikram is 30 odds. I'm not too sure.
Nah, he's still in his 20s as well, I think. I'm pretty
Still
sure.
a young buck.
Yeah.
But that must be
he is a beast, that guy.
Oh, he's number one. He's number one. But that must be a generational thing, because when I look at my stats on YouTube, my viewers tend to be within the 35 and above. Whereas a younger guy like yourself, it seems like the platforms like Instagram and TikTok are more prevalent within your generation. And like you said, they're easier to upload. Whereas, YouTube's a bit of a faffing about and so forth.
Right. Yeah.
End up like Joe sitting about all night in his boxer shorts and his laptop, spending 20 hours making a 10-minute video.
A 2-minute video.
picking popcorn at his belly button.
No, I don't like popcorn. Rations.
Yeah.
Mate, that's some really good information. And I've got a bunch of questions here I want to ask you about. So just dialing back a little bit. Rugby, what position were you playing?
So I was back in high school. I was mainly a lock,
A lock, and the forwards.
But a flanker. Yeah, the flanker was the best position. So I kind of went back and forth between a lock and a flanker, but the flanker was the best position because it was kind of like you were a mix between I'm a forward and a back. You know what I mean? You're like the perfect mix, like the flankers and the 8 men. And in college, I played flanker. And then when I was like 225 pounds, I was a prop. Of course, I was a prop.
Yeah. Because that's what I was going to ask. You were 18 at that stage, eh?
Yeah. I was 18. I was just eating. I gained like 30 pounds or man, it was nuts, man. But what was so funny was that when I went back home one day to my mom's house, she wanted me to try on these pants for this job or something. And then when I put on the pants, her face, she was like, look that, and I got so mad because I mean, in her own way, she was saying, "You are fat, you are over," and it was just like, oh god. And then I was like, okay, this is one of the reasons why I got to lose weight. But you know what's funny? Like I was benching like 245 at the time. I squat like 365, deadlift 405 back then. And then I kept saying to my mom and sisters, "Oh, it's only muscle. It's muscle." And then I had like,
we've all been there, mate. And then you're watching your button fly off your trousers.
It's like, the
game. Like, it's funny you brought up rugby because I could actually see Joe's nipples starting to protrude through his t-shirt and saliva come from the side of his mouth. You thought rugby.
We're still on the rugby topic, actually. So
rugby. Sorry, my bad.
18 there, propping. You got to propping. And you quit rugby at 20. Now you said this part sort of annoyed me a little bit when you spoke about it. So there's a bit of some idiots, sounds like, within the team that were part of the catalyst. Is that right? Would that be accurate?
So let's see. I'd say I stopped rugby when I was 19. Actually, my bad, 19. But yeah, no. The thing about that is like, hey, not every team, not every environment is going to be absolutely perfect, and but I just kind of felt college, the environment just wasn't really what I liked as much. And it's like, of course, I'm not going to name names. People change and everything like that. I'm not going to blame anyone for anything. But I kind of felt, you know what, this isn't really the type of environment. There's just, it's not really, I don't really fit in with this crowd, my interests and everything. And the thing that was funny was that like this one rugby game, this home rugby game we had at my college, you know, I volunteered to grill the burgers, and I was hanging out not with my team but with the other team because I was so sick and tired of the and like that to me should have been a sign. Okay, you know, it's not just maybe I should do something else, you know. And then
fair enough.
From that point I was like, okay, I got to do something else. And then the whole story about Muay Thai, but yeah, no, the thing is, there still were good people. You know, the coaches were tremendous people. One of the coaches, actually, he was into medieval history like I was. And like, he gave me this book, you know, that was kind of like this realistic fiction kind of thing that was set in like, I don't know, the 1100s, 1200s or something. And like, so he cared and he was cool. And like the other team members, some of those guys are really good people. And like, same with my high school team as well. You had some really good folks and you had some not so good folks, but you know, I've learned that wherever you go, there's always going to be, you know, that guy or like whoever else.
Luke's
you just
gotta,
there's always going to be that. And it's like, doesn't matter how many times you move, there's always going to be something. So you just got to know how to handle it, you know, but yeah.
No, that's cool. And I'm glad that you brought that up because Luke is that guy in the burpees community. He's like that guy off to the side. He's always winding everybody up. He's always making trouble. He's very difficult to understand, so he hides behind his accent. So he just, when he wants to get into anybody, he just puts on a real thick accent, and then people can't understand what he's saying. But he's really giving them a hard time.
Mate, it's called tough love. It's a thing.
Tough love. Yeah.
There you go.
I wanted to ask you this. Probably my last rugby question. Then, so you would know this. Who are the New Zealand All Blacks?
Okay, the New Zealand All Blacks. They are obviously from New Zealand, and they they are the best team in the world. And they do the haka. You know, Hamate Kara. You know, it's like they slap, and it's based on the Maori, like the tribe. It's very intimidating, and it's like we actually had the haka done to us, you know, when we were in high school because like this part of town, they're mostly like Samoan and everything or Tonga. Yeah. And they were intimidating. They did the haka to us. We were like, oh man, all right, this could be a fun game. but yeah, no, they're the All Blacks. Mad respect to them. Mad respect to New Zealand and everything, and Scotland, of course, Scottish rugby.
No. Let's not. No, I've got a different question for you. Now, can you tell me who are the Glasgow Rangers?
The Glasgow Rangers. I'm guessing they're also rugby, right? They're also rugby, or no. No,
no, this is perfect. You have given the exact right answers. Thank you, Julian.
Julian, I was raving about you before this show, saying to Joe, Julian's a really nice guy, Joe.
And I can see he is.
Yeah, and now now my opinion has completely changed. But Joe's in love now. Joe's like, oh, an All Blacks fan, the best rugby team in the world.
Yes, and he doesn't know who the Glasgow Rangers are. Perfect. Brilliant. No, but you want to tell him who the Glasgow Rangers are there, Lee?
The most successful football team in the world.
Oh, they're okay. Crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, at least it didn't sound like hockey or golf or something.
Well, the Scots invented golf as well, so.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
The Scots invented the whole world, basically. They invented TV, telephones, penicillin,
COVID.
Oh, let's not go there, mate.
They invented COVID.
Yeah. Like I think somebody developed COVID through eating a haggis.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna. Oh, sorry. Go, Julian. Go.
Yeah, we're talking about Scotland and everything, and like speaking of which, I just Lee knows this, of course, but the movie Braveheart, William Wallace and everything like that. The great movie, but so many things were inaccurate because the kilt they didn't have 1500s, and this was like but centuries before, and in the Battle of was it Stanford? It was actually on a bridge, not on an open field. So I don't know what the heck was going on with all that. So the history nerd, history geek was just triggered.
Braveheart's it's notorious for its historical inaccuracies.
That's because they employed Lee as the historical technician and advisor for those scenes, and it's like, it happened in a field here. Yeah, there was dearie me. There was something over there and something over there.
I was about 15 when it was made, man. Come on.
Don't lie. You're easily 120 years old. Anyway.
I'm not a Braveheart fan.
But coming back to you, Julian, mate, I wanted to ask, so you already answered the question who your favorite fighter is. Habib Nurmagomedov, awesome, like just an incredible guy. Do you know who Gegard Mousasi is?
It rings one bell, but that bell is like a little tiny, so I can't really, it doesn't ring the big liberty.
No, that's all right. Do you know who that is, Lee? Gegard Mousasi?
It sounds like a skin disease to me.
Oh no. He's a high level professional fighter, but you look similar to him. That's what I thought when I first saw your channel. When Lee sent me the link to your IG, and then I went on there, I was like, all right, this guy looks like Gegard Mousasi. And then to read about the Muay Thai and your BJJ and stuff like that you're doing, I was like, so no, that's all right. You don't know who that is. School teaching. Do you know of Here Comes the Boom?
Have
you seen that movie? Yeah. I've teacher to an MMA fighter.
I've heard of that, but I haven't seen the movie. Is that movie by any chance? Is that what's that guy's name? Rich Franklin? Is that about him or? No. It's a bit of a comedy. I forget the guy's name, but I'll send you the link and stuff later. Sure,
but,
sure.
When you mentioned the teaching, the fighting, the martial arts and all that sort of stuff, those are some thoughts. That's just sort of what runs through my head sometimes, just random stuff.
Is this a movie for New Zealand?
No, it's not. From America.
All right.
An American-made movie. Yeah, it's quite funny. It's the guy that's on that movie Hitch with Will Smith. So the bigger guy. If you've seen that movie Hitch.
Oh, he's awful. He's awful. If he's in a movie, that movie is dire.
No, Here Comes the Boom was quite funny. But anyway.
So I'm starting to worry about your taste in things. Haircuts, movies.
Haircuts, you don't need haircuts. Just let it keep going. I wanted to ask you, 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Does Joe Rogan come in there to train, to roll?
In the 3 months that I've been there, he hasn't made an appearance, but I hope he does. But he's probably been to other ones because Eddie Bravo has been on his podcast, I think, and everything. Yeah. So possibly Joe Rogan has come, but just not to the one here in Sacramento. But man, it'd be cool if you did. I'd have so many questions for him.
Have you met Eddie Bravo?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Have you met Eddie Bravo?
No, I haven't actually. No, not yet. But I've seen his content. I've seen part of the podcast when he was on Joe Rogan's show, and he's definitely an interesting guy. Definitely interesting.
I like Eddie Bravo. He's crazy. in a good way. In a good way.
But yeah, no. Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, now, you've already spoken about some of that. What's this Renaissance stuff that you do with regards to you? We were chatting a little bit about it at the start, but take us a little bit through that, because it seems like you talk about, I don't want to fight and hurt these people, but then you're gearing up with all this stuff, and then you're bashing each other, man. Like, what the?
Yeah, with a big lance.
Yeah. But I don't want to hurt them. What has this person ever done to me?
Too bad.
What we're gonna grab? Yeah, okay, just grab that. Let's go.
So the thing is, like the Renaissance Fair stuff, it started when I was 18. So I did it all throughout college. I was with this group called what were they called? They were the Royal Scots, and they were based out of the Bay Area here in California. And like pretty much, again, it was pretty much Scottish royalty from the time of Mary, Queen of Scots. And like we actually had like a couple of women who were acting as Mary, Queen of Scots, and then we had princes. We had like a let's see, a minister or like a reverend, and then we had the soldiers. So I was part of the royal guard, right? So I got to wear all this armor. We got to do mock battles, and we just got to act like idiots, pretty much. And so I did that, for 4 years. But I also was with another group, and again, this is like a reenactment group, but they were the Celts, like Celtic peoples of Iron Age Europe, and like pretty much they were called the Gais Satai, right? Or like the group was called Gais Satai, but we portrayed different like Celtic tribes throughout history. So we have people who were Gauls, like from France. We have people who were from the UK, the insular Celts and stuff. And then me, I was a Lusitanian Celt, which is like a Portuguese Celt before the Romans came in. And like actually, like my from my father's side, we're mostly Portuguese and also Native American. Then my mom's side is English and Scottish. So I remember one day, like I was telling Lee that I'm like a quarter English or whatever, and then because that was hilarious. And
That sounds like Lee. Yes.
We all have our flaws, but yeah, and but yeah. So pretty much what we did with like the Celtic group, like we had weapons from the Iron Age. We had like shields, we had spears, we had the swords from like during that time, and pretty much I just got because a lot of times the Celts would go into battle without any armor, because the ones who would have armor obviously were the ones who were wealthy. But I wanted to have my shirt off as much as possible. I wanted to show off the gains to everybody. And so I got to run around. I got to yell. I got to scream. I got to act like I was on something. And it was perfectly normal, perfectly fine. And then so I did that. And then going into the armored fighting. So the sport is called historical medieval battle, and pretty much what you do, like we were saying before, it's like medieval MMA, so you can get your armor. You have blacksmiths make the armor for you. You choose the types of weapons you want to fight with. And so I had a sword and I had a shield, like a punch shield, and it was the most fun sport I have ever played. Oh my God. Like the very first armored fighting tournament I did, I actually fought with Canada's team, because Canada was so I fought against my own country for like a semi, and I fought with Canada's team, and I just remember it was me and another guy. We had this dude against the fence, and like he was all clad, we were all clad in armor, like 55, 60 pounds of armor, and my teammate was holding him, and then I had my shield. And was just like shield bashing him, just doom, doom, and then it was so fun, man. It was, but I think the thing is, what made it like fun was that like we're all in armor. I didn't see anyone's face, so I didn't see them in pain or anything. So I think maybe doing the armored fighting was better for me than doing the boxing, because with the boxing you see everything. They see your face, and it's like, but if someone in armor, you just see a machine, And you see a monster, you see a threat, so maybe that's what made it more like manageable. but yeah, but yeah, no. So that's pretty much Renaissance Fair's armored fighting. I want to get back into doing the reenactment stuff, because again, I want to run around without my shirt again. I want to do all that stuff again. So, but yeah, I just got to call up the group again and say, hey, I want to be the Lusitanian Celt again. I want to do that. I want to run around. I want to do all this stuff again. So, but yeah. So.
Julian, you've just described a Saturday night in Scotland.
What's that?
You've just described a Saturday night in Scotland.
Yep, exactly. Oh man. Yeah,
Julian is a history buff.
Household.
If I've left the toilet seat up or something like that. Julian, can you, as a history buff, can you confirm for me, is the saltire the oldest battle flag in existence?
The what? I'm sorry.
The saltire.
Saltire.
The saltire. The saltire.
Yeah, like the Scottish flag. It's like crossed like that.
The oldest flag in the world, or in
No,
Scotland?
the oldest
Oldest
battle flag.
battle flag.
Oh, it's actually I could not confirm with you that I know other facts, but except that one. But the only thing I know about like the St. Andrew's cross is that it was like obviously it was like a Christian cross, and it was like when Scotland became Christianized, But as far as your question, I can honestly say I can't answer that. So you got me there. You got me there.
There's your project for next week.
Oh yeah, perfect. Homework. Got my homework.
Can
I just ask, Lee, what answer were you hoping for?
I was hoping for yes.
All I had to say was
yes. Just to kind of confirm how fucking crazy Scottish people are.
Oh man.
Like not only did we invent TV, but the oldest fighting flag in the world.
Ooh,
yeah. I got a cup. What's your time there where you are right now, Julian?
Right now it is almost 2 p.m. It's 1:49 p.m.
Oh, okay. So it won't work then if I say to you Dobro Utra.
Dobro Utra. Dobro Utra. Russian. Good afternoon.
Russian. Yeah. Well, I think Dobro Utra is good morning, but yeah, I noticed you're learning Russian, eh? So that's pretty cool. Yeah, Dobro Denya. Kach de la.
Igor will love this.
Igor will love this. This is a shout out for Igor. So kach de la.
Oh yeah.
How are you? Yeah. Shout out to him. He's a bit of a beast, eh? Zero gravity. Igor Fillins. All right. Musician. You are a musician. And what vocals as well as instruments, or what's the story?
Let's see. So I've kind of been going on and off with the guitar, for nice. Since I was 9, so I like but I mostly do like folk style kind of stuff, like Spanish flamenco a little bit, and I'm just kind of doing some experimentation. But I do like playing heavy metal guitar and everything, guitars and but a lot of the times too, I play the djembe drum,
Djembe
and
drum.
yeah. So like drum circles and like all this stuff, and just whenever I go to Renaissance fairs, we always have the drums, and we just go at it. We play, and I'm starting to kind of get into vocals, I might need some coaching with that, but a little fun fact.
Lee can coach you. Lee can help you out with that.
Oh yeah. I don't know if your viewers know this, but I can also throat sing. Like in Mongolian.
You can throat sing. Okay. Yeah, can you please? Would it be all right? Grab a drink of water if you need to. Could you give us a demonstration of throat singing?
Sure, by all means. Let's do it. So it's like it's like this.
Yeah, mate, you've just described Joe getting off the toilet seat in the morning.
Oh,
That's getting on.
It's like, oh.
Mate, that sounds like a didgeridoo. Do you know what a didgeridoo? You know what a didgeridoo is? It?
Yeah. Like people have asked, or say, oh, that sounds like a didgeridoo, and it's like, yeah. I watched this movie that was made in Mongolia. It was called Mongol: The Rise of Genghis Khan. And then I heard them doing that, some of the scenes, and I was like, hey, I got to learn how to do that. That's really cool. I started doing it one day, and it was just like, and like my whole group of friends from college, they're actually professional musicians. They got their music degree. They're incredible, and we all do it. Like in our group chats, we say, oh, hey, how's it going? And then we like for New Year's, they all came into town, and like we had a few drinks, of course, and we took an Uber downtown, and we were just going around like, oh, and then we were all like, we were just acting like idiots. Like we kept like reciting this meme video, and it's called "Gentlemen, This is Democracy Manifest." And we just kept going around town, going like, gentlemen, this is manifest. We just went around doing that, and then throat singing, and just everyone was like, what are these guys?
That sounds like Lee on a karaoke night. That's him getting up there and blinking, busting out. Give me that microphone. Give me that microphone.
You got it. I think you just did it.
You're a man of many talents, Julian.
You are. History, getting around with your gear off, your top off, and running around and showing the gains. Fighting.
Yep, exactly.
History.
Impersonating Joe mid-constipation.
Rugby. Onto rugby. Musician. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, man. I've really been enjoying this here and listening to, but I want to get back to some of this training and stuff here that you're doing. So with regards to your journey and stuff into training and what you currently do now, and it seems like you're the type of person that's obviously doing a lot of good things, not only helping the students that you're with, but personal training with individuals and that sort of stuff, and trying to help them. As you mentioned, it's about them and what you can do or what they can do for themselves with your support. What are your plans and what's your intention going forward? Have you thought about that in terms of what you want to do and create? Is this something that you're wanting to do full time, or would it be something that you'd still want to stay heavily involved in the teaching, in that academic space, teaching people as well as the fitness, or are you pulled more towards one or the other?
So, to be honest, teaching is something I want to do my whole life, at like an academic level. My father has been a law professor my entire life, and now he actually works at the university in his hometown. He's not a professor there, but he's doing like community outreach and stuff, and he still does teaching, and he still is involved in like legal matters as well. So I've watched him teach my whole life, and it's like I thought, hey, I want to do this too. I want to be able to give back to my community. But with that, it just depends how things go. Because I still have goals that I want to attain with teaching. I still have plans to maybe get a PhD. Because nice. I just got my master's. Actually, got my master's last May, of 2021, in like teaching, education, and stuff. And I don't want to stop there. I want to keep going, keep on to do schooling. And like actually, I've had some plans, to get in the administration as well. So be one of the guys making the decisions and everything like that, and just and be more involved in that kind of community. But at the same time, like personal training, everything, it's still teaching. So I know my purpose in this life is to teach. To teach, is to be some form of instructor, some form of coach. So that's what I was put on this earth to do. I know that for a fact, in my bones, everything. But it just depends on where life takes me. If I feel that I've accomplished enough with being an academic teacher or like an administrator, and I really want to focus on like fitness coaching, that's something I can do. If I want to just keep doing what I'm doing now, like, or like teaching, administration, but also doing this, I'm on the side, and that's something as well. But as far as that goes, it's going to be either both or either or, but as long as I'm teaching in some way in the academic level or like fitness, then that's what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm still young, 26, 27, I kind of have the,
you don't need to keep reminding us that you're 26.
Oh,
no, I'm joking.
A strapping young man. I'm a strapping young man.
A young
I can see
stag.
Lee just like, oh, I wish I was 26 again.
Oh, but yeah, no, but yeah, no, I'm thankful to have people in my life who've really encouraged me, to keep going forward with both teaching and the fitness or like personal training and stuff. And like I'm actually going to be moving. I'm going to be moving to Colorado. So I said I'm like in Sacramento right now, but very soon I'm going to be taking everything I know and everything I learned with me. So right now I'm saying my goodbyes to everyone here. I'm just, and like, again, I'm having the attitude of like, hey, just live in the moment. It like my friend's dad, he told me, if you spend too much time, if you spend 1 foot in the past, you crap on today. You know what I mean? So like, I don't want to be like, okay, like I'm so worried about this, but what about here? It's just like, hey, what am I doing right now? You know what I mean? And what can I do to attain my goals? But yeah, no, just like I was saying, the people around me people been in my life, like my parents, step parents, and my friends, they've all been just tremendously positive influences on me, and have told me, hey, you can do this. We're going to let you learn from your own mistakes, but you can do this. We're going to be here for you. We're going to be cheering you on no matter what. So
burpees will be difficult in Colorado.
Right.
The gains will be once you get used to it.
Your red blood cells will just be firing out every hole in your body.
Oh yeah. Doing burpees in the snow. Oh, that's gonna be fun. To be like, who's that crazy guy doing burpees in the snow?
It's that pressure though, like that above sea level.
That altitude. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. 100%. 100%.
You'll be blasting out all the reps as quick as burpees Ikram.
Oh yeah.
being in that environment.
Oh yeah.
So Julian, what's your favourite burpees routine?
My favorite burpees YouTube
routine. Oh, we'll get
routine.
to that. We'll get to that one later, mate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. Right now, my favorite burpees routine. I'd say I do this. It's actually what I saw from this prison video. That this like California prison video is on YouTube. The channel's called Life is Short. And pretty much what I saw these guys doing is that they do an ascending and descending ladder where they did 1 to 10 burpees or 10 to 1 burpees. It'd be like 51 push-ups in total. And it's like 10 pumps, burpee up, 9 pumps, 8 pumps, 7, and all the way down to 1. And you're at 55 push-ups. And if you do enough sets of those, you're at like a few hundred push-ups.
Yeah.
So I'd say right now I've kind of shifted more into like being more on the ground rather than just strictly doing, okay, I'm going to do 500, 600 every day or like whatever. Now they have their time and their place, but it's just pretty much being on the ground a little bit more is what I like, like doing the kickouts are hard. And then doing like, the kind of breakdancing style almost where I'm doing the rocking chairs and I'm like doing explosive push-ups, spinning around, jumping, and like, have my music cranking and I'm in downtown Sac and like shirt off, everything, boom, doing the dancing and the burpees. And it's kind of more of like not theatric because it's still a workout, but it's more flashy. I like doing more of like the flashy kind of stuff, to be honest. Yeah, right. But
so what's your favorite burpee variation?
So my favorite burpee variation might be let's see, maybe the kickouts. I'd say the kickouts, maybe we call them the 22 counts or something. And the thing is, they're hard. They're really hard to do. The 22 counts, the Navy SEAL burpees, and then the commando burpees. Yeah. And I like those mainly because they're really flashy, but they're the hardest. They're hard. They're very, very hard. And it's like, it only looks cool for maybe a few reps. And then you go back to the normal, like 1 pumps or whatever, and then you do it again. But they're hard.
Have you done 500 Navy SEALs yet?
Yes, I have. I've done 500 Navy SEALs. It was in one of my YouTube videos.
Good man.
Awesome. I was going to ask you, Julian, you should give if you like flashy burpees, you should give the James Bruce burpee a whirl on his channel. He's got it's quite a gnarly little routine or burpee that he has. A couple of people have done them. I know a guy, Fitness Throstle, Sam has given that a blast and blasted out 10 reps consecutive. But it's nice. She's a very flashy and tiring one. That one.
Right. Wait, it's called what again? I'm sorry. What's the name?
The Bruce burpee. James Bruce on his channel.
Got it.
Yeah. Another Scotsman.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Another Scotsman. Yeah. Heck yeah.
A monster.
And so I'm surprised Lee hasn't asked this yet. Who are you? Do you who do you follow outside of Iron Wolf, Moses Cuevas, and Burpees King? Who else do you sort of watch or follow, whether that's on IG or YouTube, wherever?
Well, there is this guy. He has a long beard, and he's from Scotland. He has a long beard. He's from Scotland. He tells me he likes haggis.
Yeah, we know you. Nah, don't follow him. Don't even.
And he just and I think he just got COVID, but was still doing burpees. So he's a bad.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was bedridden and moaning and crying and spreading it to his family. That's what he was doing.
Julian, you've just redeemed yourself after your Glasgow Rangers fiasco.
Oh, man. But,
sorry, carry on, Julian. Carry on.
Oh, sure.
This is. I can see the joy and smile. It's just getting bigger and bigger on Lee's face. So continue, please.
You can actually start to see my teeth.
Them. And we mentioned Igor before. Igor. I watch a lot of his stuff too. And then Broly Gaines, Goku Pump, and just those guys from New York a lot. Moses Cuevas too, but. Yeah, I've kind of taken more of a shift from like doing strictly the Iron Wolf burpees to kind of more about what they do, like Igor, Goku Pump, that's good money, guys like that. And because when I first started doing burpees, I needed calisthenics, I needed to build a foundation, and I thought, okay, burpees are the best way to do it, but I wasn't doing a lot of pull-ups though, for a whole year and a half, wasn't really doing too many pull-ups or dips. And so I was like, I started watching them, and I was like, okay, these guys are great, because they're doing everything. And like the thing is, Iron Wolf and all those guys are still doing everything, but I just saw burpees. I didn't pay attention too much to what they were doing with like pull-ups or like strict push-ups or whatever. And then when I saw Igor and when I saw Bro, these guys are doing everything, but. So I was like, hey, I got to start doing what they do as well. But in terms of like doing the whole like bar work, it's great. It is flashy as hell, and it looks amazing, like the gymnastic kind of stuff. It's not really what I want to do as much necessarily, because or like the L sit and like the planches and don't get me wrong, I mean that is incredible, but it's just not really what I want to do. I just like being like the active like a bunch of reps, prison style, military style, got the music pumping, and just the kind of like we're doing it, we're going, that's more my style, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I find this. I don't think a lot of these things are time efficient. Like your L sits, your front levers, they so much practice goes into them. There's such a skill. Like whereas just your chin ups, dips, pull ups, burpees, bang, 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 just rattle them out, get them done.
Yeah.
Like all guys like me and Joe don't have time to be trying to do an ice cream maker on Olympic rings or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it seems like too when people think of calisthenics, they automatically jump to that, and it's kind of like, hey, there is a whole other world too, besides just doing the L sit and everything like that, or like the muscle ups and everything. There's burpees, there's push up. I mean, it's just basic fundamentals.
But I think a lot of that's TikTok bullshit. It looks good. Do you know what I mean? It's like short attention span. Just like your generation, you know what I mean, Julian? You youngsters.
Oh man, you have no idea.
Span of a goldfish.
My students, oh my god, I feel like an old man in that class because whenever they mention like Charlie DeMeo and they mention all these other TikTokers and they say these words, they say like that's bussin', and it's like, I said, what does bussin' mean? That mean, and then they said, oh, Mr. Galves, it means good. And it's like, what? Why can't it's good or it's tremendous? It's like, and then if they say bussin', it means really good or
really good.
Like, I'm just like, well, how about we just say really good? So I have no idea. So I'm just like, I feel like the old man in that class because I am, but.
Imagine if you brought in and had a special guest like Lee Hazard in there. They'd be thinking, "Whoa, you've brought a caveman into the class, Mr. Galves."
was like, hey, Mr. Lee, can we feel your beard? You know,
he'll be sitting there going, no. Do some burpees first, then you can touch my beard.
Speaking of that, actually, you know, I give my students extra credit if they do burpees with me at the beginning of the day.
Hey.
Yeah. And like the thing is, they all know what I do. They all know like the calisthenics, the fighting and everything.
Yep.
And like they've actually found my TikTok and YouTube. So I'm very, very what I post, you know, with them. But yeah, no, it's all just workouts. I'm not posting anything political, religious. I'm not posting any like emotional thing. It's all strictly workouts, motivation, and then some humor in there. You know what I mean? With all my media platforms, you know. And but yeah, we're like speaking of that, I just like the thing I'm trying to tell the kids is that like, you know, hey, your life doesn't depend on social media. You know, who you are and your value as a kid, you know, isn't based on how many likes you get or like how many follows or whatever. And it's like what you're seeing on social media a lot of the times is people that like don't actually live that kind of lifestyle. They're just flexing. You know what I mean? And it's like once you take a look inside of their lives, maybe things aren't think, you know, and there's a reason why they're acting a certain way or whatever. So part of the reason why I'm like, you know, hey, I'm going to keep my social media up there because I want them to like look at my stuff and take a break from all the like, you know, the cesspool that's on TikTok and Instagram and, you know, so I just, if they can look at that and they can be inspired to work out or play outside, you know, then
cool.
Because I really want them to see the value of fitness, but without forcing my lifestyle on them, you know? And that's one thing I've learned too, with like teaching and like, and everything, or good person in general, the true way to influence people is just to lead by example, you know? So my channel originally was called Centurion's Way, you know, and like I took inspiration from the idea of the Roman centurion. And the Roman centurion, he was both a soldier and he was like, you know, an administrator. So he led from the front and he led by example. He actually worked and fought with his soldiers. So it wasn't just him from afar saying, oh, you go do this because I say. He was actually living by example. And that's part of or like for me, I took inspiration from that. And that's what I try to be, like a centurion. You know, even though I'm not in the military, never served, I still like the idea of leading by example, or, you know, and it's like that's what I try to be. I try to be the guy who's in there doing the stuff with you, and I'm like we go through things together, but you see me as an example, and I try my best to be transparent, and you know, and like that was part of my inspiration for, like I was saying, teaching and then personal training and like everything, YouTube and Instagram, and so. But yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Julian. I wanted to ask you, I've got a few last few questions on my side to wrap up. Lee might have a few more. But what's your cheat meal? What does a cheat meal look like for you in terms of
cheat meal? Oh Lord. So cheat meal is American food. Like actually last night I had a big giant bacon and a jalapeno burger with fries, and then the night before that I had pizza. I had 12 slices of pizza. And while I was watching the show Peaky Blinders, which is an amazing show, binge watching Peaky Blinders, and then I had pizza and everything like that. So, but now I'm gonna redeem myself. I'm gonna, now all of it's gonna come out, just boom, you know, stomach strike and everything. But yeah, those two things, and then candy, ices, Starburst, Skittles, gummy worms, big thing of icy. You know, that's my cheat meal right there. Skittles.
Icy. What's icy?
So it's like a snow cone, right? So pretty much it's a very heavily concentrated cold drink that kind of like melts in your mouth, and it is the most sugar-filled drink you will ever have. So you'll in a heavy crash.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So yeah,
a good high, an instant high, and then a heavy crash. Sounds good.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And you need to finish this sentence for us from me. My favorite podcast is.
My favorite podcast is MoveSweatSuffer. Oh.
You can come back anytime, Julian. You can come back anytime. Yeah.
It's like favorite. Oh, what? I didn't see that.
Yeah. What's a podcast? All right, mate.
Joe Rogan.
Well, that's,
I have to say it's between here and then Joe Rogan. Because he gets into he has all types of people on there talk about history and like lately I saw the podcast of Daryl Davis, and like Daryl Davis, he was he is an African American man who meets with Ku Klux Klan members, and then he talks with them, and then they give him their robes, and he actually has an incredible story, an incredible way of influencing people. So Joe Rogan, and then here, because it's kind of like you guys feature like people like me who are like starting out, and we have a little bit of a presence, I guess, on social media or YouTube, and what you guys are trying to do is tremendous, or not trying to do, but doing. You're like, you guys are getting the burpee community, the calisthenics community more out there, and you're structuring it, and it's tremendous what you guys do. So I have high respect for what you two do. Seriously.
Thank you very much, Julian. Yes, you were able to come back anytime, even before you said those nice words. But thank you very much. No, and yeah, you're right. Joe Rogan's doing some awesome stuff. You might end up on there. Like you said, he has all sorts of people and stuff on there.
Oh, yeah.
Lee may end up on there, possibly. I doubt it, though. But, yeah. He could. Luke could end up on there. I'll send Joe Rogan a message and say you should have Luke Hazard on your podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But, mate, from my side, I just wanted to take this moment and opportunity to thank you, Julian, for A, coming on the podcast, B, being so open and transparent, sharing, I guess, from my side, still just a fraction of your story, but it's an incredible one and an amazing one, filled with a lot of, I think, for those that might take the time to listen, some inspiration and stuff in there, some education in that as well as a good dose of humor as always, thanks to Luke and yourself in that as well. But mate, really impressed and pleased with what you do, with what you add to the community and the things that you're trying to do and trying to support others on their own fitness journey in your own way, bringing attention to the calisthenics and the need to work hard for what it is that you want. The importance of education are some of the things that I've taken away from you. And there's a quote, I can't remember who said it, but it's along the lines of live as if you were to die tomorrow, but learn as if you were to live forever, or something like that. Right. Yes, and sir. So just listening to you speaking about, your desire to continue to learn and to be a teacher in some way is fantastic. Mm-hmm. So hopefully you've enjoyed your time here with us and as we have with you, and we wish you all the very best going forward. We'll look forward to having you back on again later. And by then you might have, you might know who the Glasgow Rangers are by then, but it's all right if you don't. Not many people know who the Glasgow Rangers are, but the All Blacks, yes, people know who they are. Anyway,
that's his second project for the week.
Yeah, you got two projects. Sorry, Julian. Yeah, I've dropped you in it. You've got two projects.
Homework. I love your wee quotes at the end, Joe. I really do.
That was a good quote.
That was a good quote. But I would like to. My thoughts. Sorry, my thoughts reflect Joe's. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Julian. You are an old, handsome head on young shoulders. It's been very interesting. No, I know, but what I meant was, is that not an old head on a young head on old shoulders?
Mate, you tried to come up with a quote like mine, but it just there's no good.
I'm sure it's
Don't do that again. Do not try and come up with a quote again to just try and better my quote. My quote was a good one. Your one, no.
That's not a quote. Start again. That's not a quote. It's like just a saying.
Oh, I love that.
It's just a saying. No, but it's been an absolute pleasure having you on here. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the compliments that you just sent in our direction there. That was very heartwarming. You can see a big smile come across Joe's face.
No, thank you guys so much for it was an absolute pleasure. You guys are genuine, and we kept the laughs going, and it just felt great. It was natural, and thank you for giving me the opportunity or a platform to share my story that I really don't share with too many people, and it was great, you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. It was amazing.
Thank
Pleasure.
you. And thank
And
you
I
for the
look forward to
throat
coming
singing
back
too.
again. Look forward to coming back.
Yeah,
Anytime,
yeah.
mate.
We'll make
Cool.
sure Lee's had a few drinks and then you can both throat sing together. We'll have a bit of a session on there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had some Iron Brew before we started,
There we go. Perfect.
which is
All right.
illegal in America.
Ooh.
Well, to
Chemicals in it.
Mhm.
To yourself, Julian, and to those that might take some time to have a listen to this, and to obviously my dear friend and co-founder Lee Hazard, thank yous all very much. Thank yous for your participation. Thank you for stopping by and having a watch and a listen, and hopefully a bit of a giggle and a laugh with us as well.
Oh.
We wish you all the best. Much love and respect to the community and that out there. Keep smashing, doing what you're doing. This is your Move, Sweat, Suffer podcast for today. Take care. Stay awesome. We'll see you soon.
Take care. See you soon, guys. Thank you again. Bye-bye.